there? It's your man, MisterDirect, coming at you today because I want to talk to you about something a little serious, something that's been tugging at my heart, and something that I think maybe if I discuss a little bit, get some of your views, maybe y'all feel free to tell me how you feel about it. As most of y'all know, we've been going through this whole entire birther thing with President Obama. You know, like, is he born in the United States? Is he not born in the United States? And a lot of people have been discussing, what's the problem that we've been having. Here's the deal. Here's my take on it. Maybe you disagree. Okay? First of all, his mother was born in the United States. Okay? Doesn't make a difference where he's born. In the United States, if your mother or your father is a natural citizen of the United States, if you are born outside of this country, you are a citizen. You have until 18 years of age to come back to this country and claim your citizenship. This is a law. Okay? There are other presidents out there that have been born outside of the borders and have come back. There have people that have ran for the presidency of the United States that have been born outside of the borders of the United States and ran for president. Nothing ever was said about them running. Nothing was ever said about them being elected. I'm going to come back to it. The other thing is, well, he had to give his birth certificate long form. Today, he had to release his whole entire, just to shut people up. Just to shut people up. I'm going to release my long form, which no one in their history of presidency has ever had to do. Okay? No one. Let's get real with this. The problem I have with this is the birthers, they're all a bunch of racist assholes. Let's be real about it. They're going to hide behind it and say, no, he's a socialist, he's a Marxist, and this, that, and the other. They're racist. Okay? My problem is that there's a lot of closet racists out there that want to talk about this and talk about that, about Obama. And none of them want to take the time to even think about the fact that a lot of what they don't like about Obama is his color of his skin. And frankly, as a black man, I'm fed up with it, and I'm going to tell you how I feel. And if you don't like it, click off. But if you feel me, you're going to stay and you're going to try to understand the reasoning behind it. Now, here's my thing about it. Every time a black man gets a position of authority, or anytime a black man gets a position that they think is still held in high regard by the old guard, they always make sure that he's got to kind of do 20 times better than the original guy that had it. So if the original guy worked, let's say, from 9 to 5, the black man that gets the position, he's going to have to work from 9 to 9 or 9 to 12 to prove he's just as dedicated. Okay, I learned this from my father, old school. Always remember, anytime they do something, you got to be 80 times better than that. Because if you ain't, then they're going to look at you and say, oh, he really don't want the job. He ain't doing as good as a job. Okay? That's just facts. The way I grew up, that's the way a lot of black people grew up. A lot of them ain't going to discuss this. I'm going to discuss it with you. It's bothering me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you like it is. If you don't like it, deuces. The other issue I'm having with that is that a lot of people are trying to sit there and say, oh, well, look at the deficit and look at everything that he's doing. Let's get something straight now, okay? Take away the racism and everything else like that, okay? All this deregulation of banks and everything started underneath Ronald Reagan, okay? Ronald Reagan. From 1945 until 1981, this country had one deficit. That was by a Republican administration with Richard Nixon. Think about that. Go look it up. It's a fact. If I'm wrong, hit me back on my email and tell me I'm wrong. Like I said, from 1945 to 1981, one federal deficit. Guess what? Republican-led. From 1981 to present, our deficit has been Republican-led. This is facts. Look it up, people. Be smart about it. Okay? Be smart about it. Okay? Obama came into office with a 20% deficit. Okay? I don't give a damn black, white, whatever. 20%. That's the highest in the history of the nation. 20%. And a lot of y'all want to dog him out and say, well, he's doing this and he's doing that and he don't care about nobody. Unless he walks on water, you all are going to dog him because he's a black man in that position. That's period. None of y'all looking at the facts. None of y'all looking at the realness. All of y'all using your racist views to come off on him and talk about the things that he does in his life. Okay? He wasn't born in this country. Okay? We've got proof that he was born in Kenya. You've got your, look at it. You got your birth certificate. Now you guys want to talk about, well, why is he spending all this money for people not to see his college transcripts? Come on, people. You mean to tell me that you ain't got enough common sense to understand the man could not have ran if the stuff wasn't legal? If he wasn't straight up 100% proof? You had McCain and you had freaking Palin running for the country, and these idiots failed out of school, had transferred from school to school to school. This man was a law professor or whatever type of professor. The point was, he was a professor. He graduated top of his class. This dude was everything, and you still knocking his hustle. It's because you're closet racist. You got nothing better to do with your time but be closet racist. You're going to sit there and you're going to say, oh, I'm not a closet racist. Oh, no, it's his political views, and he wants to make things social and stuff like that. Come on. One man cannot change a whole nation. You got to go through the Congress. You got to go through the Senate. You got to go through so much red tape. A black man in office is making you face your fears that now you will not get the same thing that you got before. The old guard is not going to be anything more. Now all of a sudden people are knocking at their door and saying, that's right, I can get the same as you. Pull a wool from over your eyes. All y'all people out there yelling about, oh no, I'm not a racist and I don't care about that. Really? Then if you're not racist, why are you not taking into the fact that the Republicans only care about one person? Rich people. Are you rich? Okay? All you poor folks out there talking about Republican, 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 they don't give two shits about you. You know who they care about? They care about your votes. They care about the rich. Okay? 90% taxes was in the 1950s for the rich people. Every time a Republican-led person came into office, that tax went down. Now, more poor people flip the coin for all you rich people, then you can turn around and say that you flipped the coin for us. We paying more than y'all. You upset because out of a 36% tax, y'all might go up to 39%. If you make $250,000 a year, and you want to talk about it's about working more and bringing home less, really? You make $250,000 a year and you couldn't afford that extra 3% off of your taxes. Whereas somebody, the average American makes between $50,000 and $70,000 a year. Average American. And it might be less than that. But my point is, the 3% is going to affect them a lot harder than it's going to affect you. Because you're greedy bastards, that's why. Feel what I'm saying. I'm angry because your hatred on Obama is all racism. None of y'all coming about ethics. None of y'all coming about what he's done. Okay? A 20% deficit. How long did y'all really expect it was going to take? All of y'all sitting there jumping up and down like, oh, he was going to come in and take over. Michelle Bachmann throwing all this bullshit in front of your faces about, look at all this during the Obama administration. Okay? Think about it though. The first little bit of his administration was still Bush budgets. I'm not saying Obama's going to do everything the right way. I'm not saying I agree with everything he did. He shouldn't have shoved healthcare down our throat. There should have been another way of going about it. But you want to know something? Once again, it's a black man doing it. White people have been shoving shit down people's throats for years. The greater administration has always shoved shit down people's throat. Forced them to do things they didn't want to do. You have to do this. You have to do that. Nobody argued. Nobody said anything. All of a sudden you get a black man come in, some power, got the same thing. Now you got a problem. It's racist. A lot of y'all want to sit there and say it's not. It's racist. I'm speaking from heart. A lot of people ain't going to say it. They're worried about their jobs. They're worried about how they're going to be seen. MisterDirect don't care about how he's seen. MisterDirect cares about one thing, truth. Speak the truth and it shall set you free. And a lot of y'all don't know how to be set free. You want to hide behind your racist, you want to hide behind your racist cultures. Your legacies, as you like to call them. I'm only doing this because if I do this, it's going to make it work this way, or it's going to make it work that way. Come on now, people. Get real and get with the times. It's 2011. It is time for y'all to realize that a black man can screw up and do the same job the same way any man can. It's time for y'all to realize you need to get rid of those racist views. You need to embrace what's going on. The change. Okay? Change. Bring your people together. Stop trying to talk this BS about people I'm scared he's socialist. Come on, people. Are you that ignorant? Well, guess so. It's my time. I'm out. Y'all be good. Deuces.